my name is Luke Tedford, and you heard that news absolutely correctly, people. So, psychiatric health support is currently at an all-time low right now, and potentially it has a chance of getting even worse. So, as a constituent of Senator Cory Booker, I am hoping that you are seeing this, and I want to reach out to you in hopes that you will consider co-sponsoring the Mental Health and International Development and Humanitarian Settings Act. And I'm going to be providing to you the reasons why you should co-sponsor this bill. It's just absolutely insane how many people around the world are actually living with mental health disorders or substance abuse disorders, as globally worldwide, approximately 1 billion people around the globe are currently suffering with these issues. Now, of course it's a lot of people, so there's going to be this need for an excess amount of mental health and psychiatric help facilities in order to help out these individuals that currently are struggling with their everlasting conditions. But unfortunately, with all the health budgets that are located worldwide, only approximately 2% of them are actually focused towards mental health, which is extremely problematic knowing how big the numbers are of people that are suffering from mental health disorders. And typically within the more developing countries, the numbers of accessibility rates are particularly very, very small and minimum. Like, at least, like, it could go down to at least 10% of people that have access, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now, I've seen some statistics before, which I will bring you to, within the more developing countries to actually show how minimum access actually is. I wanted to show you guys a little bit more specifics about the developing countries that have such a minimum accessibility rate when it comes to receiving psychiatric health support. And the statistics that I found were from a website known as the United Nations, and they had some details about the number of people within the populations that actually had mental health disorders and the amount of people that were actually clinical workers that provided mental health treatment. And I did my own personal calculations to pretty much figure out the amount of people that if there was a distribution for the amount of clinical mental health workers to treat every single person that had a mental health disorder, to see like how possible it is for them to reach or to evenly distribute every single person. And so when the number seems completely out of reach, that's how you know it's completely problematic. And more psychiatric health facilities and people trained to provide mental health support will be needed. Now, within Kenya, so there are approximately 80 psychiatrists, 30 clinical psychologists, and 250 psychiatric nurses working in mental health. So when you add up all those together, there's 360 people that are treating people with mental health disorders. Now, it does seem like a large number until you realize how large the population of Kenya actually is. So approximately 11 million people living in Kenya do suffer from mental health disorders. And when you distribute how many people will need to be served for each clinical health worker, 30,556 patients per clinical psychiatric health worker. Now, it's absolutely insanity, and no person could physically or possibly treat that many people, which is why the accessibility rates in Kenya are so low right now. Now, if you thought that number of distribution was absolutely ridiculous, you got to see Nigeria's psychiatric help status. So approximately 50 million people living in Nigeria have mental health disorders, which is much larger than the people with mental health disorders in Kenya. And what's even worse about this is that they have even less people working in the clinical health field, with 130 psychiatrists that are treating people with mental health disorders. And when it's distributed, each clinical health support worker would have to reach 384,615 patients, like if it was evenly distributed among every single person, which is, yeah, that's no way inhumanly possible that it could be done. But with the additional foreign assistance that the country could provide, possibly more education could go out. So I hope those examples help to showcase how low accessibility really is for mental health treatment. And so it is really important that we support the Mental Health and International Development and Humanitarian Settings Act, which is Bill S.2105. And please, Senator Cory Booker, I do request that you co-sponsor this act, because it'll ensure that foreign assistance programs that are in charge of funding for health programs, they put more of their budget towards mental health, which could really go to great use into creating mental health infrastructures and providing some good education to bring more psychiatrists into the field. And I think it would benefit everybody, because as the vicious cycle once said, that mental health and global poverty do coexist with each other, where people are more likely to become financially unstable if they're dealing with mental health complications that prevent them from being productive. So please, I do urge you, Senator Cory Booker, to support the passing of the Minds Act. It will help us all.